Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I'm Sunny Pancholi, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulas for many. And this is what we aim for with these sessions, by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such corporate veteran on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Mr. CHINMOY ROY. With a career spanning over 3 decades in the dynamic landscape of the automobile manufacturing industry, he has consistently demonstrated an unparalleled commitment to excellence, innovation, and sustainability. His journey epitomizes resilience, expertise, and a relentless pursuit of improvement. At the core of his professional ethos lies a diverse skill set that encompasses crucial domains such as project planning, manufacturing, environment management, and safety excellence. His multifaceted proficiencies extends beyond technical prowess, encompassing soft skills, people management abilities, and analytical acumen, making him a holistic asset in any organizational setting. As the General Manager of Technical Services at Tata Motors, Pantnagar, Uttarakhand, since April 2017, he has spearheaded transformative initiatives in project planning, environment management, and Industry 4.0 implementation. His role as a business excellence champion and ethics counselor underscores his commitment to fostering a culture of integrity and operational excellence within the organization. Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, Mr. Roy.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Roy, to begin with, our viewers would like to know your career highlights, namely milestones, decisive professional steps, etc.
Yeah. So, I would like to break this part of introduction into sections. We'll start with a career overview and followed by some milestones, and then I'll explain to you what are the areas I got exposed in the entire journey, right? So to start with, let me introduce myself as an automobile person, because in my last 36 years of professional career, I've worked in multiple assignments in one of the largest automobile company in India, that is Tata Motors. And I've actually navigated through multiple areas, like from hardcore manufacturing to business excellence, safety excellence to sustainability, quality management to digitalization, project management, innovation management, anything you say which is needed in automobile industry, I have done that. So, and also when I joined long 36 years back, I've actually seen a evolution of technology. And I know whether it is in product or process, how the technology has actually evolved in last 36 years. I'm a witness to that in the automobile field. So when I look back, the journey has been very enriching and very eventful. And we got many areas, areas of exposure, and there are many achievements in diverse areas. But to talk about the milestones, I joined in 1987 and as a graduate engineer trainee in a plant called Jamshedpur, which is the mother plant of Tata Motors. And that is the time when I got exposed to some technologies, those are actually extinct today, because we have moved on and we have gone for a different level of expertise. Now, when I was in maintenance, I worked out with some new technologies, and then after a period of time, I actually, brought some new concepts. Actually, some of the new technologies were actually introduced in Tata Motors through me. And a few years later, I thought, let's time to move on, and then I moved to a production. I just had a feel of how manufacturing has to be run. So, get a holistic experience. I moved to a manufacturing production kind of environment. Anyway, maintenance was with me. So that gave me a holistic kind of experience how to run a production. And moreover, the skills of people management, because when you're in production, you manage so many people. So that's an area of, a very important, thing people should learn. So in last 24 years, actually, I have worked in, in many of the manufacturing setups. That includes body shop, paint shop, assembly lines, engine, anything. So whatever we have in our repertoire, everything I've worked with. And later on, with this rich experience, I moved to a different area called utilities and environment management. And actually subsequently moved to Panagar also. And from 2017, I'm working as a technical service person, which comes under project management, utility creation and management, sustainability, all these things. And we also have some more additional responsibility, like you have business excellence, cost management, industry 4.0, safety management. These are also as an additional responsibility. But these are few milestones. Now I'll come to some of the key areas where I have got exposed to during my journey. So first one I should name as a quality management, because when we joined as young GTs, that was the time Tata Motors was starting to implement ISO 9001. And I actually implemented it from scratch in my area, right? And as the standards evolved, we migrated to different standards, TS 16949, IATA. I've been driving this, and all what is required for this was done. And I've also migrated to become an auditor in this area. Now, this is one experience which helped me to move to another area, which was business excellence. From 2009, I'm a certified business excellence external assessor, and it is on the Tata Business Excellence model. And almost 12 years, 12 assignments, 12 external assessments I have done, and which of different companies, which are not automobile companies, having diverse portfolio. And that's a good opportunity for me, to learn the entire business, and it's not limited to manufacturing. So we have learned about marketing, we have learned about design, how do you develop a business strategy, how do you run an innovation in a company. And these are all good things to have in your portfolio. And also, I got recognized also sometime for my good work. I became star assessor sometime. So that's also a good thing to have. And later on, only recently, I got also exposed to another business excellence framework that is called ESG. This is one area where it was a very enriching experience. Now, moving to another area, which is called the safety excellence journey. When DuPont, we got an engagement with DuPont, which is an expert in safety management, and we got engaged in I think 2011. And from there, I spearheaded safety excellence journey in the organization or also in the place of work, and worked very closely with DuPont consultants. And when the journey ended at 2014 and DuPont left, I continued this initiative as an SME. And that still continues. Now, another two areas I should mention is the sustainability and digitalization, which are the new areas, actually. I'm driving multiple sustainability and digitalization projects across the organization. And a lot of accolades I've received on this area. So another area where I got a deep exposure is the cost management. You know that staying nimble and staying efficient is the success mantra. Now, I've driven multiple cost reduction initiative as a cost champion, whether it is lean manufacturing like Kaizen, TPM, variable cost, fixed cost. The plant where I'm operating now is the benchmark in terms of efficiency, and we have created this for last 5 years. I've been working on that, and it has come to that level. Now, as I mentioned, I also been given responsibility of becoming an ethics counselor. So I've been trained as a Tata Code of Conduct expert, and I've done a lot of investigations. And I also participate in some of the group level competitions on ethics. And only recently we got an award last year. Another area of passion, which I always cherish, is training. So I love to give training. So, and I also got certified by Dale Carnegie, and I'm a master trainer certified by Dale Carnegie. So these are the few areas I could mention about my entire professional journey. So happy to have any detailed discussion on any topic.
Excellent start to this interview, Mr. Roy. And I must say your career journey is truly inspiring.
Thank you.
So continuing our conversation, with your extensive experience in project planning and execution, could you share a specific project or initiative that you have led, highlighting the strategies you have employed to ensure its success and the challenges you have faced in the due course?
Yeah. So I think I have led multiple projects and initiatives, but I would like to mention two different kinds of projects or initiatives, so to say, wherein I could do something different from what normally people do. And it is also helped me how to drive a mega project, whether it is in a particular location or in the entire organization. The first, I'll start with a brief, giving you a brief understanding how to run a project. So, when you run a project, you have to create certain strategies. There will be certain challenges, definitely. So what needs to be done to run a project very successfully is to have a clear goal definition, what I need to do. You need to have a stakeholder engagement. Methodology has to be agile. You cannot stick to a one methodology. And most important is you should have a cross-functional, team collaboration. Design has to be user-centric, and implementation has to be very fast and very up for that. Now, some of the typical challenges which I have also faced and typically project faces is sometimes the scope changes, sometimes there is a timeline pressure, new issues sometimes come back, right? Sometimes there is a supply chain disruption, technical issues, sometimes there are resource constraints. So these are the things, and also the biggest problem normally project faces is the user acceptance. So I'll explain to you one project which is related to one of the new engine was getting launched in Tata Motors in my area. And that particular project was supposed to happen in a span of 12 to 14 months. But the challenge was that the capex or the budget was very limited. We had to do it in a lower budget. And this particular engine, which is a very new engine for a particular location, where our planning team or our project planning team or the operation team have never got exposed to this kind of manufacturing. And the project being a new project, there was supposed to have a very long cycle of engineering validation. Once I produce it from my location, it's to be validated. So normally validation goes for a little longish time. And another important problem of that particular time is it was a time when the entire world is struggling with COVID. And the entire supply chain got disrupted, and we had to introduce during that period only. Now, the strategy cannot be same as a conventional time. So normally, when we bring a new product, we get validated after the particular item is produced. Now here we found a problem because since everything is getting delayed because of COVID, we cannot have a same way of validation. So what we did is innovative approaches. We introduced a new concept of stage-wise validation. Whatever got completed was sent to engineering for validation. So what you did it by doing this, the entire validation time and the facility creation time run parallelly, which normally never happens. So at the end of the day, when the final product was made, half of the validation is already done. So we have actually shrunk the validation time. And another big problem came when the company wanted to launch we preponed the launch by 4 months. So we were anyway in trouble. And the launch was also preponed. So again, it needed something differently to be done. So we quickly got together, organized our people, and then we found that there can be one way of creating an intermediate facility. While we'll keep all the quality standards same, but we need to launch in maybe a smaller number. Let's create a facility. Still, don't wait for the final facility to come. And we did that. And the product was launched in time. And when we created the final facility, the project got validated in between. So that's a great learning because we never faced this kind of scenario. So this is one example. Another example, I'll talk about an initiative. When we started this digitalization initiative, I was actually leading a particular theme of digitalization, which is a process digitalization. It is across all the different plants of Tata Motors. And when we started this, it was only an idea. We never knew what to do it. It's a new initiative. It's not like putting a smart meter and getting some readings. You have to develop a concept. The biggest challenge was where to start, what to do it. So what we did again differently. It took some time to develop the portfolio. We had multiple sessions of discussing, benchmarking, understanding what are the pain areas. And first thing we should do is to create a portfolio of things which we'd like to do. And then we went to top management, got their approval, convinced them that yes, really, this is going to help you. And then I cannot start the project all over. So what we did is we created pilots in five locations, 5 pilots. We run the pilot. And during running the pilot, we actually built a lot of knowledge, and the project got matured. And that was the launching pad. And next year, we could implement in a very fast pace across all the locations. And then all the concept was implemented in a standardized way. And then in last 3 years, we have been running this, and we have got a great success in the areas of digital ergonomics, digitalization of factories, paperless manufacturing. It's a new concept we have brought, no paper in the shop floor. So that was a true success, in fact, and it's still continuing. So these are the 2 things I thought I'll tell you. So I think it's over to you. You can go to the next question.
Really sounds incredible. So building on to that, let's discuss safety and its role into the success of any project. So here is my question to you. Safety excellence is a critical aspect of your role, right? So can you elaborate on the safety initiatives you have implemented at Tata Motors and the impact they have had on the organization's overall safety culture?
So I think it's a area of my passion. So I would love to speak on that. So as I mentioned earlier, I was a DuPont trained safety expert from last 13 years. And when we started this journey in 2011, then the organization was actually grappling with a lot of incidents, increasing incidents. Safety culture was poor. Systems are not that good. Infrastructure was not that robust. And if you see, typically any automobile organization will be characterized by moving machinery, manual operations. With sometimes there are automations definitely, but largely at that point in time it was manual. Huge array of moving vehicles in the area, and there would be a lot of hazardous places. So, and we were actually grappling with how to manage this, how to reduce the incident. Now, when we started this journey, we first got exposed to a very high level benchmark system. And the focus was on improving the behavioral system, infrastructure and all will happen anyway. So at that time, I was playing a pivotal role in multiple areas, definitely starting with infrastructure and system implementation, creating a governance structure and developing capability. So we learned from them and we tried to build our resources through our people. So I was also a trainer at that point in time. And we actually run a big transformation in the organization in terms of, adopting advanced systems, adopting different methodologies. Like they introduced certain new ways of, managing safety. We did it. I'll come to that. So as we, had a 3 years engagement with them, at this point in time, Tata Motors started, gradually having a grip over the safety management. And we could see a, initial beginning of, culture, safety culture was gradually getting built, and we were actually getting a sign of, safety ownership. People started to own safety. That was the main purpose we actually got engaged with them. The moreover that, the biggest, achievement of that period is when we actually started this journey, the leadership focus was not that good. So, but then when we actually had 3 years of engagement with him, the felt leadership part was in one area where it was a demonstrated. It was actually a remarkable improvement. The leaders started to focus on safety. And then 2014, when DuPont left, so I actually that time was acting as an SME. And from that time, I ran multiple initiatives in safety, which includes many subcommittees membership, like, we have standard development subcommittees, safety observation subcommittee, contractor safety management, and incident investigation. So the purpose of my involvement was to build a competency. Sometimes it is not only a classroom, it is actually handholding, going to the site, working with them to actually build the competency. Some structured improvements have to be brought in the system. Another important area which we are still working on that is how to improve the investigation. Suppose an incident happens, how to bring the real insight from that so that it doesn't happen next time. So as an SME also I did a lot of training sessions. In fact, we did a lot of strategy building workshops where I conducted for cross-locational people. And then with this, actually, things have gone to a high standard, high level, but sometimes there is a lapse, something goes down. Now people have, developed a habit of coming together quickly and, finding out what went wrong and immediately going for a solution. So that's the kind of achievement we have in last 13 years. And currently, I'm playing a role of a safety expert. Wherever it is needed, I'm kind of supporting the teams. So that's the journey, and that is the kind of achievement for Tata. Over to you.
Amazing. So, Mr. Roy, you are a certified business excellence assessor with a great amount of experience and numerous professional contributions in the facet. So, what are some of your biggest achievements in it?
So again, it's another area of passion for me. So when I talk about business excellence, it doesn't limit to an operation excellence, because we are in a plant. So it goes much beyond that. And as I said, that Tata Motors is part of the Tata Group, and Tata Group has adopted Tata Business Excellence Framework. And I did a lot of assessment. And the assessment, the biggest part of assessment, you get exposed to multiple systems, multiple good practices, best practices. And when you come back after the assessment, one is then when you go to a particular company, you also carry some of the expertise to those companies, support those good companies to improve. And also you learn something, come back and kind of implement in your areas. So first of all, I should say that in my personal front, I got a lot of experience and a lot of accolades sometimes, because I got, acknowledged, recognized as a star assessor, and some of the team which I have driven got star teams during the felicitations. Now, when we went to different companies, we also brought certain good concepts, as I said. So many of the process improvements through lean management, tools like Kaizen, TPM, low-cost automation, process innovation, these people learned from them, and we brought it here. And then this has helped Tata Motors to have a multifold increase in productivity, increase benchmark cost in multiple operations, capacity improvement of production. So these are some of the learnings we carried, and actually that we consider as one of the greatest achievement of being an assessor, that you carry back the learnings and actually implement there. Now, another thing which I could learn from them is how to implement a goal. Suppose you take a strategy and you convert into a goal, and then you use the mechanism of cascading to improve the overall performance of the organization. Now, when I say this, when we look back, we implemented multiple new initiatives when we learned from other organizations, and that has actually driven a lot of excellence in multiple areas, and the companies at multiple levels got a lot of recognitions, lot of rewards, and actually we see our business performance has improved. Capability development is one area where I always feel that this is most important for any initiative to run, and I'm also training, coaching the budding assessors at my company, and we are creating assessors who can be not only assessors from point of view, but also they become a business excellence experts. How to apply this business excellence framework in our area of work, be it a manufacturing, even a person who is a doctor can apply a business excellence framework. So we have kind of created a common thread of understanding in the organization, so that everybody can use their part of application, and overall a company improves. So one of the biggest achievement, I should say, that Tata Motors is it's a scoring which companies are getting rated. So one last year in 2022, I was part of the external assessment team as an internal assessor. First time that concept was introduced, that external assessment team also will have one person from in the particular company, and that was a time when it was a challenging time for me, because on one hand, I'm actually having two hats. One is a hat of the Tata Motors person, another hat of being an assessor. So doing that balancing and was a difficult task, but it happened. And that time, Tata Motors was after a long period, we brought back the rank to industrial leadership. So that was a biggest how to manage both sides of the coin. So that is another area I should say that I have learned, and also it's an achievement for the company. And I was actually, part of driving a lot of manufacturing excellence activities, which has definitely come from some of the assessments and also some of the other initiatives which I've done. And recently, Tata Motors has adopted TQM methodology, TQM of working. So I'm also there as a mentor. I'm supporting the team. So holistic understanding of the entire framework and different practices, adoption of different practices to drive wait to for certain level to saturate and then jump from there. This is the kind of thing I should say that are the achievements. In summary, if you can talk about the business excellence, it is a success mantra which Tata Motors is using. Any organization with driving this. And the way we have driven this, it's actually improved radically the customer and business focus and definitely the business performance. And this has actually helped Tata Motors to navigate through the phases of growth and recession. So I'm very happy to be part of this journey. So over to you.
Absolutely, Mr. Roy. All right, so moving ahead, as the General Manager of Technical Services at Tata Motors, what are some sustainability initiatives you have spearheaded?
Yeah. So sustainability is it's a new subject which all the organizations are now having aspirational targets, and it's anyway part of business excellence. So I've been driving this multiple sustainable initiatives, be it energy conservation, be it GHG reduction, green waste disposal methods, water conservation and recharging kind of thing, green supply chain, biodiversity, green product development. These are the multiple approaches. Some of them I'm leading for the area, some of them I'm part of the team. So to start with how this journey started, I think it started sometime in 2015 when before this kind of aspirational target setting was done, we adopted a model called green manufacturing model. And it started with a pilot in my area. It was actually a framework given by CII. And there are 10 modules. Under these 10 modules, the companies are getting rated across the location, across the different diverse group of industries. So we adopted this. So it actually, take a holistic view of the entire sustainability. And adopted this and got, kind of certified, rated, and there is a highest award at the national level that is called Platinum Plus Award. As per their criteria, we have done that. So more than the award, it has given us an idea how to go about, it's implementing sustainability initiative. That's the starting point. Later on, as a company, as a group level, we have adopted certain standardized approaches. The first thing which we've done is the net zero approach, wherein we will not increase our GHG emission from a particular baseline level. So two things which are coming under this, which I am very much actively driving, is one is the RE100. RE100 is basically we will be going 100% renewable energy. And energy conservation will actually reduce the consumption of energy in the particular area. So, and this particular initiative, I'm driving across the location of energy conservation for last 5 years. And I've driven multiple, done some multiple strategy workshops wherein we formulated many strategies. We also did a lot of technology adoption. And actually, overall, if you see, not only in my location, which is anyway benchmark, but all other locations which I am part of, they have also come up to a level. And again, if you look at the national level of recognition, CII has recognized my location and one of the another location as national leader in energy efficiency for last 5-6 years. And all other locations are getting recognized. So one is business performance and also getting a national recognition. So this is one area of work you are doing. Another important area of work is wherein we call it a circular economy. It's a very emerging concept, and many world-class organizations have adopted this. So Tata Motors have taken 2-3 areas of work here. One is water positive. We need to become, all the plants, all the shops will become water positive. Whatever water we draw, we need to recharge. So our plant, the plant when I'm working and multiple other plants where I'm part of, are getting into water positive. Out of the 5 manufacturing plants, we have also already become water positive. So we are working on certain systems which is helping us. So this is a very new area, but it is giving us a lot of inputs. Another area is waste management. We need to dispose our waste in a green way. So that is called zero waste to landfill. Nothing should go to landfill. So we are doing it for wastewater management, solid waste management, and other waste management. So So, and also if you look at this water positive, there are certain concepts called zero liquid discharge, water conservation, and we have introduced a concept called water balance. We are creating a water balance, and the water balance is supported by smart metering, digital metering. The data is available live in my water balance system, and I can see what is happening. So digitalization and sustainability actually got merged, and a lot of water augmentation, rainwater harvesting projects have been taken. Right. So in that zero waste to landfill, we have actually completed the entire chain of things, whether it is a hazardous waste, any type of waste a company generates needs to be disposed in a proper way, in a particular standard approach. So we have, initially it was very limited to hazardous waste. Now we expanded. Even the canteen waste gets disposed in a hazardous, in a particular standard way. So we have installed organic waste composter in all the plants now. The third vertical, which is a very initial stage, we have only initially done some studies, the biodiversity. While I have been part of horticulture and landscaping, all these things are my portfolios. I haven't a better idea of how to develop a landscape. But now we are driving in a very structured way. And we have done a baseline survey of all the locations. And we are actually starting projects called OECM, other effective area-based conservation measures. So this will be a biodiversity project which will be just starting. We just have an early exposure to this, but as we progress, we learn more about it. So these are a few areas where Tata Motors is working, and I have also very actively driving these initiatives in whether it is in my location or across the location. That's all about this. Over to you.
Absolutely incredible. All right. So moving ahead, my another question on ESG and corporate governance is, what values do you bring to the table as an expert?
Yeah. So I think in the last 36 years, I've been exposed to multiple aspects of ESG, and many of the areas I got deep insights through the implementation of initiatives. Now, with this kind of thing in my repertoire, I can definitely feel that I can, help some of the companies. I can drive or guide some organizations implement. Now, I would mention some of the areas which anyway comes under ESG. One is that, when you run a company, you should be aware of your statutory and regulatory requirements. So this is my area is actually actively involved in that. I'm aware of most of the statutory and requirements, regulatory requirements, pollution. I've been continuously be in touch with pollution control boards. What are the things they need? CGWA, Central Groundwater Authority, Electrical Inspectorate, PESO, factory inspector. So these are the areas where any company would be exposed to, and these are all always threats and risks for the company. So I have a fair idea because I have been driving it for years together. So that's an area of expertise. I didn't mention it earlier, but it is also anyway, it's a hygiene. Another area is, where I'm very much exposed to is the risk management. So company has adopted a COSO framework for risk management, and I've been doing it for quite a long time. And as I did a lot of assessments for different group companies, I have a fair idea of how to drive risk in multiple type of, how to do a risk management, how to mitigate risk, how to assess risk. Because as a company, we have done a lot of analysis called SWOT analysis, pestle analysis, and converted them into ERM and developed strategies. So I'm very actively there. So that's an area where I have a fair idea of what can be done. So that's an area where I can also help some of the companies. Now, coming to that, other areas which I've already mentioned is safety. Definitely, safety is a integral part of ESG. Safety governance, safety framework, safety management. All these things have been deeply involved. So it is possible for me to guide anybody. Anyway, I'm doing that role. So that's an area I can always be handy. Sustainability is another area where I have an extensive expertise, and I said there are areas like energy conservation, GHG, water management, solid waste management, biodiversity, and this is I have when I made many companies, I have felt that this is one area where companies have a very superficial knowledge, and they struggle to make a very robust strategy or forward-looking strategy. So many of the, even I've seen many of the governance members, board members, they don't have a real exposure to this, never had a hands-on experience, never had driven this kind of initiatives. So how to actually bring this integrate with the overall business strategy is actually not coming through many organizations. That's my experience when I did assessment multiple companies. Here, since I have driven it, my experience can be very handy here because I can help management. I can tell what is the right thing, what is the right approach. So that excellence in these areas can be always be, and that you cannot avoid. That's the emerging area of business now. Ethics, as I said, that ethics is another area of very important area. Transparency, how to ensure transparency, how to manage ethics in a company. Since I have done a lot of involved a lot of code of conduct principle related investigations, I am aware of certain disclosure requirements. So it's being a very key element of ESG where I have done a very active involvement. So with this in mind, I think I have a lot of things to offer. I think I can drive change in industry, whether it is an industry, ESG strategy building or is an ESG strategy implementation, and all types of companies have to now run these things very seriously. So that's the area where I can come very handy. That's about it. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay, so this concludes our discussion on ESG and corporate governance, and let's move ahead and discuss technology and its impact on your professional landscape. So here is my question to you. As you have spearheaded Industry 4.0 activities, what are some ways you wish to leverage IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, cloud, digital twin, big data, Web 3.0, etc.?
So I'll touch upon those things. But before that, I should say that Industry 4.0 is the now need of the hour. Now, as the business dynamics and competition is increasing, more and more companies are actually adopting different tools, and it gives them a competitive advantage. The adoption rate, I was reading some of the adoption rate of digitalization in India is very high, significantly high. If you look at the entire, world. But then point is the thing which you have seen in companies that to start a digitalization drive, you should first have a very robust digitalization strategy. Now, digital strategies are what? They are a range of approaches and tactics which are aimed at in leveraging digital technologies to transform your business, enhance customer experiences, and also drive innovation. So normally, if you look at, if you want to build a strategy, there should be an assessment, planning, what kind of a customer experience you need to enhance, what kind of data analytics and insights you will use, what kind of operation level improvement you want to drive, whether you want to have agile and flexible operations, what kind of digital talent and skill development you need to do, what kind of infrastructure you need to create, what kind of risk you carry when you go for digitalization also comes with a lot of risk. So some risk assessment, some regulatory compliance, all these things should be part of the digitalization strategy. Now, this is what, when we started as my experience, that we did all of them. And then we started to implement entire digitalization into few areas of improvement, not starting everything all out. So now I'll come to few areas, the examples which you are saying. So what are the areas these things can be used? Now, if you start with the first thing we said, use the IoT. Now, IoT is have a wide range of application, whether it is a manufacturing industry or retail industry, wherever you go, IoT is taking a role. Now, for a manufacturing industry or engineering industry, we call it a industrial internet of things. It is IIoT, and this is still already getting leverage, and we can have a lot of things coming forward. It is used in energy management, environment management. You're creating smart factories, smart cities, smart homes, everything, retail and supply chain, everything it can be used. So this is an area where I should call it as a heart of any digitalization. If you need to have first this and get into the next level of things. So this is one good thing which many companies are adopting. The next thing is, once you have collected data through these devices, IoT devices, the next thing is to how to use this data. Then the question of AI/ML comes. Is it only data, or is it going to help in my business? So that is where the AI/ML is helping to analyze and predict, diagnose, prescribe solution. It is actually have a potential of revolutionizing the entire process, and by increasing efficiency, innovation. So, and it is again, it is a wide application where it's starting from health industries to retail industries, wherever you go, you will find the application. Today, medical treatment is very much supported by AI kind of thing. And this is actually helping us to have a data-driven decision making. So I've seen many, and it can be leveraged across any industries. Now, another area which you have mentioned is blockchain. Definitely, it's a very new technology. It's an emerging technology, and it actually started with finance, all this Bitcoin, all these things. But now, if you look at the basic, basic concept of this, it has a lot of potential. Not very much used today for other industries, but it has actually creating a data management transparency, data transmission transparency. It has security element, efficiency element, and this can be definitely leveraged for retail industry, supply chain. In a company having supply chain, very complex supply chain like Tata Motors, definitely have a option to leverage this, which will anyway come today or tomorrow. Energy trading is one area where many companies are today doing, and also either they are part other side of the story, or they're getting energy through an exchange or trading. Here also blockchain comes very handy, and it is very effectively being utilized. Cloud computing, you mentioned that it is again a very fundamental technology, and it is also finding a route now because it is providing scalable and flexible operations, scalable and flexible solutions for storage, computation, software delivery. Many companies are getting into smart manufacturing. Smart manufacturing will happen with this. It will need the cloud computing to support the smart manufacturing. And today you see there are services available. You have things called infrastructure as a service. We call it IaaS, and you have a platform as a service. You have a software as a service. These things are actually emerging, and companies are getting things as a affordable and very easy access is now getting provided. But yes, that thing has to move from here, and it will actually help computations being faster, efficient, accurate, and help in driving this digitalization initiatives. Digital twins, again, digital twins are also is a very, again, it's a concept which there are two sides of digital. One is that creating a digital model to implement a particular project. Suppose in Tata Motors, we are using it extensively. We are creating a digital model of a factory and then try to bring some. If the new product comes, we just fit into that thing. That's one type of digital twin. The another type of digital twin, which is real time, when I'm using the AR VR kind of scenario, and for example, a company, suppose an energy trading company or any discom wants to have a smart grid management. There, this kind of concept becomes very handy. Again, this is one area where it is again taking a route. If you see in India, I am in touch with a good company called Siemens, who are also driving digital twin, and we have understood from them it is also taking root in the world. So it's a concept which many companies have tried to do it in a very limited way, but it has enormous scope if you can really use it, which we are trying in pilot mode in some of the locations. And maybe in a couple of years, we'll have a lot of maturity in the subject, and that actually replace many human interventions. In fact, areas where we have an exposure to very high heat or high stress, their digital twins can come very handy. Big data anyway is the story of the day, because now all these digitalization drives which companies are doing, lot of data is actually getting generated, and to handle that data, I should have a big data analytics, big data processing management available, because it's taking a route, it's gradually taking a route, and depends on what kind of industry you are. You can really leverage this to have actionable insights. You can optimize your operations, and these technologies are actually evolving now, and as we evolve, it will get a lot of expansion on scope. Even it will bring more efficiency, competitiveness, and value creation kind of thing. Wave 3.0 is basically a decentralized wave, which you mentioned. It is also having very potential to transform how the way the information is accessed, shared, processed. So it's basically introduce a decentralized technology, like all these blockchain, smart contract, all these are anyway part of this anyway. But more, it actually brings a lot of transparency. But again, it's a new concept which companies have started using it. Companies were going for new business models. if they want to have a data privacy and security, these are the areas where Web 3.0 can be very handy. Now, these are few areas where digital tools can be used. So over to you again, or if anything specific you want to understand.
Mr. Roy, thank you for sharing such amazing insights into different subjects. So this brings us to the last question of the session. We are building a community of industry magnates. The move is meant for cross-pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge-sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts. So what are your thoughts about these initiatives taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Havel Mehta, and the team of World Development Corporation?
So I think at the outset, I must thank Zishan Pathan, Mr. Havel Mehta, and the whole World Development Corporation to bring this new platform, because I feel that enormous amount of knowledge and experience is sitting in this corporate ecosystem, which we are not able to tap normally unless you come and meet them, go to a different forum. But here, this initiative, gives an opportunity to capture those knowledge. It may be a tacit knowledge, it may be an explicit knowledge, which is staying with the industry experts. And the way you are managing it, the way it is being managed, the entire community can take a support of this, leverage this, because the good part of this particular initiative is once this particular insight is captured, it is available. It is available at the public domain. People can use it, whether it is in a audio form or AV form or in a document form. Things are available, and it can be leveraged, it can be accessed, it can be referred by anybody. So as I feel that as this is a good initiative, so as we progress, more and more people will join, and a thing will mature. And maybe at some point in time, we may decide to kind of create communities of knowledge, so that people coming from same community can form a kind of group, smaller group, and we can become very handy to support others. So that's a good initiative to start with. It has a lot of potential going forward. Thank you.
Great. It was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will inspire future leaders, Mr. Roy. Thank you for joining us today. Wish you the best for your future endeavors. Moreover, trust that this initiative by Directors Institute has unquestionably expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.